Hello ladies and gentlemen, Quack and Duck here. Today we're discussing a new Helluva Boss episode. There are a lot of things I would like to say about this video, so without a further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, Hell has rules? How is that supposed to work? What laws could you break? Hell, well, what we saw anyway, is a place where anything can happen. It ain't no Disneyland, but many things can happen. You can be tortured, killed, robbed, sexually abused. Anything can happen. But going to the human world is where we cross the line? Like, I get it. Going to the human world had already gotten them involved with Uncle Sam. However, every other demon has gone to Earth. Now, case in point, they have a lust crystal, or whatever Ozzy gives out. But they can just as badly mess up in the human world. For example, Verosica made a huge fish kaiju, got arrested by the human police. She did a ton of stuff, but everyone looked the other way. Anyway, enough about Hell's weird laws, and let's get into the things I like about this episode. First of all, it was decently funny. The humor was actually tamed in this episode. I didn't hear a single sex joke either, which was a relief. Also, this bird guy is pretty funny.
Yes! Speaking on behalf of my aggressively attractive sister.
Also, we finally get to see the three of the remaining 7 deadly sins: Leviathan, Belphegor, and Satan. Now, Leviathan and Belphegor can get thrown out the window. They don't even speak. If anything, they're only kind of there. Now, Satan was actually a pretty good character. However, he sounds just like Stryker. Speaking of Stryker, just die already. He must be the worst assassin I've ever seen. He failed to kill Blitz. He failed to take on Moxie and Millie. He also got crushed by his own questionable statue, and then he got blown up. Like, man, you're not William Afton. Anyway, getting back on track, another good thing about this episode was Luna still not being relative to the plot, but this was her best episode appearance. For once, she cared about Blitz, which kind of was hinted at earlier in the season. However, I've given up on her being useful in anything else. Vizzy really needs to use her characters more. Anyway, there were a few confusing things that made me scratch my head. First of all, who are you? This red Goetia, which I swear is played by Eddie from The Boys. He literally came out of nowhere. What is he? Stolas' Mexican cousin? Brother? I don't know his name. Wait. Vasico? Very interesting. But basically, he's just a friend of Stolas? Never mind, moving on. I wish there was a bit more to this episode than just Hellcourt. It's fine though. I personally think it's better than the last episode. Now that I think of it, I was a little harsh on the last episode. I still think it was one of the weakest episodes of Helluva Boss. However, there were a few things I left out, like Blitzo's trauma and the fighting of a fish demon. However, I would like to talk about this another time. Also, I would like to mention that the song in this episode was decent. Definitely better than most of the songs in this show. I still personally prefer Has-Been's songs. Also, I really want to talk about the 7 deadly sins again, now that we see them all. Ozzy is still the best sin, but I prefer Lucifer. Beelzebub actually looks pretty cool in this episode. She and Ozzy, I assume, are best friends. Mammon is still Mammon. The worst character I've ever seen. Satan is cool, and I like the fact that he's southern/midwestern. However, I'm going to exclude Leviathan and Belphegor, because they don't speak, so I don't know what they're like. Also, I refuse to believe that Helluva Boss and Has-Been take place at the same time, just because either Lucifer is helping with the hotel or he's still making ducks and crying. Either way, he should be here. Now, one last thing I would like to say. How and when did the other 6 sins come into existence? Are they fallen angels, or did they just manifest when Lucifer arrived? Because I'm not taking the word of Satan saying he was there before Lucifer's arrival, because it states and has been that hell was created when Lucifer got banished from heaven. So there's no way in hell that Satan ruled before Lucifer. Also, the pun was definitely included, and I'm not sorry. Well, that was all I had to say about this new episode of Helluva. Now, I know I am late, like a week late, but this is because I'm sick, if you couldn't tell. I feel like I'm dying slowly inside. Also, thank you guys for pushing me to the 100 sub threshold. I can't thank you guys enough. But without a further ado, have a good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and I hope you tune in for me next time.